so happy that your relationship with your daughter has improved.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Dr. Janice Hooker Fortman with Relationship Matters. On this show, we talk about all kinds of relationships. But today, we're talking about a very special relationship. This relationship, I would say, is the most important relationship in your life. It's your very first relationship. It's a relationship that affects everything. It affects both men and women. It affects your personal life in all kinds of ways, and it affects your professional life. Now, what relationship is that? It's the relationship with your mom. This is the Mother's Day show, but I like to call it, this is Mother's Day month, actually. Actually, you know what? It's Mother's Day year. Because moms are extremely important. The relationship with your mother is important. It affects you whether your relationship is a good one, I say a challenging one, if it's a wonderful one, if your mom has passed, even if you never knew your mom, even your adopted mom. This is the most important relationship in your life. And today we're talking about the mother-daughter relationship. And I have a guest today, Dr. Makesha Harris Lee, and we are going to discuss the mother-daughter relationship. Now, even if you're a guy, that relationship that your mom had with her mom or your mom had with your sisters, it affects you. So before I say anything else, because you know I can really kind of run my mouth, I am going to bring on Dr. Makesha Harris. And I'm going to bring her on. And while she's on, I'm going to tell you all about Dr. Makesha Harris. Hello.
Hello, hi everybody.
How are you?
I am doing well, doing well.
That's good. That's good. Well, let me tell my audience something about you.
Okay.
Okay. You are a native of Centralia, Illinois, and that's in southern Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Okay. uh, she earned her BS in education. Oh, so did I. And her MS in the College of Student Affairs at Eastern Illinois University.
Go baby.
She completed her doctoral studies in higher education administration and leadership at Maryville University in St. Louis.
Mhm.
Now, this is something unique about her. She researched the nature of black hair from the roots to the ends. Her dissertation was hashtag Black Hair Matters. And it really, really does. She talked about in her dissertation the factors influencing the relationship between black women and their hair. And I told you, we talk about all kinds of relationships, but you know what? I never had a theme where we talked about hair. And that's something, thank you. That's something that I think I'm going to have a show on. Not only black women and their hair, but all women and their
Mhm.
hair.
Yeah.
I kind of like that, so thank you. Uh, and she currently serves as the founding director of Core Team, which is a college readiness department at Southern Illinois University. Now, she enjoys the challenge of becoming a minimalist. We're going to talk about that. She travels a lot. As a matter of fact, she's a travel agent. We're going to talk about that. She's an all around beautiful young woman.
Thank you.
And she has because she has a great love for travel and relationship building, she's merged the two together and created a space on Facebook called Her Jewel and Crown, a mother-daughter relationship enhancement group. So we're going to talk about that later. We're going to get into a lot about, what do you want me to call you? Dr.
Ma-
Makesha, Dr.
Makisha.
Harris, Makesha? Okay,
Makisha is good.
all
Yeah.
right. So we'll talk Makesha. So, Makesha,
Yes.
let's talk about the mother daughter relationship.
Hmm.
How did you decide, or why did you decide that you wanted to focus on that particular relationship?
Great question. So I took a spiritual leadership, well, it's called Spiritual Warriors in Training course with Iyanla Van Zandt. I don't know if you're familiar with
Oh,
her.
of course, I know Yanla.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So back in July, I want to say is when we started, June, July for the course. And during that time, you're doing a lot of praying and meditating and fasting. And so in September, God just came to me and he said, I have a mission for you, and I want you to create a space for mothers and daughters to build on the relationship. And I was like, okay, God, that's pretty cool, but how do I pay for it? Like I was getting all these visions of what it would look like and having a retreat. And I'm like, okay, but how do I pay for that? And he's like, well, remember, I led you to someone who is in the travel agent business. And they had asked me maybe a year or two ago if it was something I was interested in. And at that time, I was still in school. And so I didn't have the time, but now I have the time. And so I reached back out to that person. And so that is helping me to fund some of the activities that I'll have with the program. And so it's just been growing. I just try to keep an open ear to whatever God leads me as far as what to do, who to invite. And I found people just on Instagram, and I found you from looking at a YouTube interview of you and another young lady, because I was looking for someone who had a book on, relationships between mothers and daughters. And so it's just been growing since then. So it was all God.
All
So,
right. All right.
yeah.
Do you have a daughter?
I do not. I am a daughter though.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, let's talk about the mother-daughter relationship. Now, tell me about the relationship with your mom. I want you to start from when you were a little girl all
Mhm.
the way up to now.
So when I was a little girl, I feel like my mom and I were pretty close as a little girl. I remember we used to do a lot of things, and she kept me involved in a lot of activities, Girl Scouts and brownies and softball. And I wasn't that great at softball, but she was at every game, and and band, and just anything that I wanted to get involved in. Playing the organ, I wasn't that great at that either, but yeah, she always would push me to, do my best in those areas. I had a very structured growing up. Um,
When you
and
say very structured, what do you mean?
um, it was predictable, what was going to happen. Very secure, very safe, stable. Maybe that's
Okay.
a very stable childhood. And then, of course, I became a teenager, and I acted like a teenager. And
All righty.
and our relationship was like a mother and her teenager. And so, we would bump heads, and, just being a teenager, being, hormonal, and just not caring about the feelings of your parents. And so now that I'm older, it's like she's my best friend all over again. From when I was a little girl, we've been able to come full circle and reconnect. And when I travel, I love to take her with me. And we just bond a lot more now, that I'm older and I see life I have a different perspective on life, and she shares different things with me now that she would not have shared with me before. Even some of our conversations around marriage, because I recently got married in 2018, and so those conversations are a little bit more open and different. And I value it. I definitely value having my mother around.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Um, Now, do you know anything about your mother's relationship with her mom?
So my mom's mom passed away when she was about 18 months.
Oh,
And
oh,
mhm.
okay,
Yeah, so they lived in Mississippi, and my mom was the baby. But once her mother passed, she was sent to live with her uncle and his wife. And
okay,
um, so she didn't have her mother around. Uh,
okay,
yeah, and so her upbringing was different from mine. It wasn't as loving, as,
okay,
as much. But I feel like she learned how to be a mother, like the things not to do. You know what I mean?
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And I ask that because how we are raised as daughters uh, i- is usually a reflection sometimes of
Mhm.
how our mothers were raised. It can be the very same thing, or it can be the opposite. And so that's why I asked that. I coach women, well, mothers and daughters who have challenges in their relationship. And what I ask them is, do you know do you know how your mother was raised? Do you know how if she had a really great childhood, or, or was it a negative situation? Because a lot of times as adults, as adult daughters, and even as teenagers, and we look and we think, why is she doing that, or why is she saying that?
Mhm.
And it comes usually from how they were raised. Now, in your case, with your mom, because her her bringing up was kind of negative. So, from what you're telling me, she learned what not to do.
Mhm. Mhm.
And, but there are a lot of women who were raised in a negative environment, and they pass that on, and we call that generational curse. But we have someone here, that, okay, okay, well, no, she doesn't have anything. She's talking about something totally different.
Okay.
So we'll wait on that. But I wanted to do this mother uh, and daughter show because, like you, I had a tap on the head from from God that said I needed to write a book. And I wrote my book, and I want you to write a book. I'm just telling you this. Uh, of course, of course, of course. Um, I wrote my book because I was having challenges as I got older with my mom.
Mhm.
Now, I'm the only girl. I have three brothers. I have one brother who passed, and I have three brothers. And like you, when I was younger, we would just, oh, we were so tight. And as a teenager, of course, like the old folks used to say, um, I started smelling myself.
Right.
And,
Uh-huh.
and then you start bumping heads.
Yeah.
Then we got closer, let's
Mhm.
say when I was in my 20s.
Mhm.
But as I got older, things started really changing. And we really started having a lot of challenges in our relationship. And I used to think, you know what? This is just me and my mom, and there's no one else in the world who's having these same kind of issues. And I had to look back as to how my mom was raised.
Mm,
So my
mhm.
mom was very, I would say, strict,
Mhm.
and I would say back then controlling.
Mhm.
But I understood because she had no control over her life, which of course that meant she had control over my life. But so I ended up writing a book, which I promoted at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to promo it again. Shameless plug,
Okay. Good.
about the challenges and how to navigate the challenges in the mother-daughter relationship, because the mother-daughter relationship is the most unique, dynamic relationship in the world. And when I say the world, I mean all cultures. I have talked to women in all different kinds of cultures, from all different kinds of cultures, from all different kinds of financial situations and economic situations, from the very, very rich to the financially challenged. And it's the same. It's the same kind of relationship. It's like a roller coaster. It's ups, and it's screaming and yelling, and it's laughter, it's down, and it's hugging. But it is the most dynamic relationship in the world. So now, with you having your mother daughter retreat, have you talked to women, or are there women who are coming there to, say, reconnect with their moms or to bond with their moms more? Do you get into their personal relationships?
Yeah, so that is the goal. Bonding while traveling. That's the goal. And so, yeah, we'll have different sessions, and I have homework because I am an educator. So they will have some homework to do. Two of the nights we're there. We're there from Friday to Sunday, and so they have some fun homework, and then they have some, okay, we got to get a little deep type of homework to do.
So
Uh,
tell me about the deep homework.
Some of it will be just different types of questions. Some of it will be on how they were raised, and maybe questions on love and relationships that most parents or most mothers haven't had with their daughters before. Some of it will be about, okay, what are your final wishes? Or, getting some of the information out of each other. If something was to happen to me, how do I access your accounts? Or, who do I reach out to at your job? Some of those types of questions. I won't give too much away because I know some of them are watching or plan to watch later. And so I don't want them to be ready.
Okay. And the fun. Okay, so I'm going to, when you touched on that planning,
Mhm.
And what would happen? What are you supposed to do, or do you know their wishes? And there's something called anticipatory grief. And anticipatory grief is how you sometimes when your mom gets older and you know that she's going to pass, or she might be really, really ill. And there's something called anticipatory grief, in that you start grieving before your mom has passed. And that might be something that, I don't know if you have that as part of your agenda,
Mhm.
but that might be something that you can ask. How are they going to feel?
Mhm.
Because when they're here and everything is fine and they're healthy, yes, you can start talking about, okay, well, your bank account, you're this, you're that, you're the other, which is very important. But when that time comes,
Mhm.
will they be able to really do what it is they're supposed to do? And in my relationship with my mom, that's a really big story, but I kind of knew some of it, but then things got changed, unfortunately, because she was suffering from dementia. And in my opinion, she was taken advantage of. That's in my opinion. So I don't want
Mhm.
anybody suing me or something, but I can have my opinion.
Yeah.
But that's something also, as our moms get older, and if they start suffering from dementia, it's very important to make sure that you keep on top of things, you know. So now, I know you don't want to tell too much, but let's talk about happy. So some of the happy things that you're going to they're going to do. You
Oh
said they
yeah.
have homework, but now is this a week long retreat, or a day retreat, or what?
So it's Friday to Sunday. We will be at the Lake of the Ozarks at Margaritaville at the Lake of the Ozarks. And so that resort, it has tons of different things to do. And so I'll definitely give the ladies time to explore the resort itself. There's many miniature golf and boat riding, and there's a splash. Uh, what do you call it? Like there's several swimming pools, but like a splash city is there. Massage, you can go to the spa if you want to just kind of relax. They have different restaurants. And so our first night, we'll do a meet and greet. I've reserved an area there that's outside. And we'll have food and we'll play games and get to know each other and kind of have a relaxing, chilled meet and greet, fun activities going on that first night until they get to their room and find out they got homework. And so then they could do homework then. And then the next day, during the morning, we'll get up, we'll do some morning workouts, some wellness, and then we'll go into a few of our sessions. And so I don't know if you want me to talk about the sessions just yet, but we do have sessions during the morning time. I'm hoping to end everything by 1:30 so people can enjoy the rest of the day. And then on Sunday, we'll end with a final ceremony, a closing ceremony, and then a lunch, and then that will be the end of the first retreat.
Okay.
Mhm.
So is this your first retreat that
This is my
you're
first.
having?
Yes.
Oh, that's
All of it
wonderful.
all of this came to me in September, and so I've just been working on it since then. My date was given to me that it was going to be around Mother's Day, and so that weekend after, actually, it's the day after my birthday. My birthday is May 20th, so I see it as a birthday gift to myself,
Okay.
and so it'll start on May 21st through the
Okay.
23rd. Mhm.
So I gotta take a quick commercial,
Okay.
and when we come back, let's talk about some of your sessions, so who you have, and because I think this is something that's really wonderful that you're doing, and I hope that not just this is your first one, but that you do that on a yearly basis.
Oh, let's go to
Okay, all
commercial.
right. Okay, so we'll be right back.
Hey.
If you would like to advertise on this show with eye-catching videos and increase your visibility, please contact us at 1-877-667-7325 for details, or jan4now125 at gmail.com. And, oh, that's the wrong one. Or you can also contact Lowski2Lopan at gmail.com, who creates all of our videos. We create these videos in-house. That's Lowski2Lopan at gmail.com. gmail.com. Well, we are back and we are talking to Makesha. And Makesha is having a mother daughter retreat, and it's called Jewels in Her Crown. Where did you come up with that name?
So it's Her Jewel and Her Crown.
Sorry, Her Jewel and Her Crown.
Most people mess it up this guy. Just listening. Just listening. Just allowing spirit to guide me through this, because like I said, it was not my idea to do this at all. It just came to me, and so that was the name. And then my logo, it has two women facing each other, and one has a crown as if she's crowning the other woman, and then the other also has a crown, and as she's bending down to be crowned, she has a crown in her hand, next to the womb. And so it's like, that's her jewel, the baby, the womb, and then her crown. So her jewel and her crown.
Oh, wow. Okay. So now you're going to have different speakers.
I am. And so I have my notes, so I may look down just a little bit.
Go ahead.
But I do want to kind of point out each of the different speakers that I have. So our first one is Ifua Dotson. I found her on Instagram. She too started a new business in September of 2020, and it's called She Defense, and it's all about safety and self-defense for women. And right now she's out of Atlanta. She's from Ghana. But she has come up with so many different tools that look like everyday items. So she has a comb, but when you open it up, it's actually a knife. She has a taser that looks like a cell phone. She has different types of keychains, and she's created things that are not just for, women, but also for children. So different sounds on their keychains. And so she's gonna speak to us about, just being safe as women, and just regular little things that we could use to keep ourselves safe. So that's one. And then I have Dr. Chiquita Miller-Johnson, and she is a certified Christian counselor and coaching specialist. She's also a comedian. She's so funny. She's a playwright. She wears a lot of hats. She's a mother. She's a newlywed. So she's a wife. She's a daughter. And so she's going to come and speak to our mothers and our teen daughters, because I do have a couple of teens who will be at the retreat as well. And so they're going to have some of that mother-daughter relationship talk. Then we have Dr. Alicia Abioye. And she is a college professor and a director for diversity and inclusion at a school in St. Louis. And she has 3 daughters. She has a set of twin daughters who just turned 1 yesterday. And so she's one of those natural moms. She's all about, natural births and natural lotions and reusable diapers and all that natural stuff. So she calls herself a crunchy mom. So she'll be the one to, if you're into figuring out ways to lead a more natural lifestyle for yourself and for your children, she'll be able to lead in those efforts and help people out with those things. Tiffany Patrick, she's out of Florida. She'll be there. She's my bestie. She's my second bestie. so literally met her on the first day of school at the bus stop, and we've been best of friends ever since. She owns TNSP Solutions, which she helps women and men to focus on personal and professional development and growth, and walking in their purpose is what she says. She's been in HR for 14 years, but she decided to just follow her dream and go into consulting and entrepreneurship for herself. And then we have Juana Love, who's actually my aunt. She's a financial advisor, and she's a professional certified executive coach for financial advising. So she'll be there to walk us through some of those those financial questions or things that we don't necessarily talk about or think of when it comes to mothers and daughters and how we should conduct that type of business. And then Angelica will be with us. She is a licensed massage therapist. She owns it's called Blue Dream Massage. And so that's one of the fun things. The ladies, she gave away 13 free massages. So the first 13 women who signed up for the retreat in person to attend in person will each have a free massage when they get there. So last but not least, you're going to be there with me. Dr. Janice will be there with us as well. I found her on YouTube, as I stated before, because I really wanted to. I'm not an expert at mother-daughter. Me and my mom. But I wanted to find someone who had the expertise and who maybe had a book. Because, like I said, I'm in education. So reading is like, a no-brainer for me to make sure everyone leaves with something tangible. And so you'll be with us as well.
All righty. Yes, I will. And now, people can attend in person. So because I know you're talking about, they have homework and all that. So what about people who are or mothers and daughters who want to attend, but they're not comfortable being
Oh,
out, or so do you have anything for them?
yes. So we have a virtual space. And so those who want to attend virtually, it's just $25 to attend. The deadline is going to be April 14th because some of those resources that we're using, I'll be able to just send them some things in the mail. So just asking for a $25 donation to join in. And yep, they can go to worldlyescapes@gmail.com and let me know that you're interested and we can get you added to the list. And so, yeah, we have some people who have already signed up to come to the virtual viewing of the sessions and be engaged that way. And there will be some prizes given away as well. And it's just for that Saturday because I don't want people to be too zoomed out, just sitting there. So Saturday morning, we will start at 7:30. Nobody knows that, but
They know now.
we will start at 7:30. There is an optional workout class, and then we should be
Oh,
we should be we should be done by 1:30. But everything we do between 7:30 and 1:30, it will run virtually as well, so people will be able to participate from home.
okay. And now, if it's virtual and it's only $25, which is, oh my goodness, you're giving it away. But then it's something of value and it's something very important, and so I do understand that, and that's a way for anyone can afford it, because if you think about it, you spend people who drink Starbucks,
Oh yeah.
they spend $25 in a couple of days or even a day. I don't drink Starbucks because if I did, I'd be like walking on the ceiling or something because the caffeine get to me. But that's great. So if you're virtual, you can now. If you're virtual, will you be able? You'll be able to view, but will you be able to interact at all? As
Oh
far
yeah, it'll be through Zoom.
oh
So yeah,
oh
they'll be able to ask questions. They'll be able to talk. Yeah, very, very engaging as if they were there. Mm-hmm.
oh okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's wonderful. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I I I, I I'm very, very happy and pleased that you asked me to speak. I did a mother, I haven't done a retreat, but I did do a 1 day kind of mother and daughter tea.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really great. The mothers and daughters really loved it. But before then, I did a group coaching, and I it was fun, but then it really got kind of serious. And what I did, I would break them up into groups, but I never had the mother and the daughter in the same group. And the group would decide on whose issue they wanted to address. And once they addressed that issue, then they would come back to the whole group and report out of what issue and how they resolved the issue. And for some of the ladies who wanted, I followed them afterwards with one-on-one coaching to make sure that whatever it was that they decided they wanted to do or committed to doing, that they did to help their relationships. And some of them were really serious, but then others were not as serious. It was just like a misunderstanding or the bumping of heads. But this is something that's really important. Now, I have someone here, Sarah Crawley, who says developmentally, there's a small window to build relationship. Once a teen peers become become their
Mhm.
source of information. Now, you said that when you were a teenager,
Oh yeah.
who did you listen to? You listen to your peers or you listen to your mama?
Yeah, you listen to your peers. I think we all go through that. That is a part of it. That is a part of it. But I came back around though.
Right, because,
Yeah.
when you're a teenager, what does your mother know? She doesn't know anything, or that's old-timey
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
then you get a little older and it's like, you know
Yeah.
what? She was right. And Sarah Crawley also says young adults reflect on what they wish mothers would have said or done while they were growing up. So anticipating expectations is important. However, you can only do or say what you know.
Mhm.
And that's thank you, Sarah. That's very, very true.
Mhm.
As a young adult, yes, I agree with you wholeheartedly. One thing I look back on in my mother-daughter relationship, and I don't know if you had this same experience, but as I got when I was younger, let's say as well, a teenager, I
Mhm.
would say, you know what? When I get grown,
Oh yeah.
I am not going to do this. I'm
Mhm.
not going to do that. I'm going to do something totally different. But when I got older, I discovered that I'm doing the same things that I said I wasn't going to do.
Oh yeah.
I have a chapter in my book, and it's called Lordy, Lordy, I Have Become My Mother. And I used to say, well, when I was a teenager and you had to wash, if you cooked or if you had to wash dishes, well, I didn't like to wash dishes. And if it was a pot, it could have a tablespoon of food in it, and I'd put it in the refrigerator. And I just didn't understand, like, well, you're gonna eat it for leftovers the next day. You know, what's
Mhm.
wrong with that? Okay. But now I find that when I cook, number one, you can't even tell I cooked. I have cleaned up everything, and I don't put any pots in the refrigerator with food in it. I'll either put it into a little container, or a little baggie or something like that. So when I said, you know what? The things that I said I wasn't going to do, I found out that I do. Lordy, Lordy, I have become my mother. The things I said I wasn't going to say to my son, I say, that because I said so.
Do as
Oh,
I
well,
say.
oh my God, I got a question here. What happens if your husband becomes his
Oh,
mother?
well, do you like his mother? That's the real question.
What? Right. And you know what? That could happen, Carol. Especially if they're a mama's boy,
Mhm.
which is not always a bad thing. A lot of people say is a mama's boy, but I think my son is a mama's boy, so that's not
Uh-oh.
a bad thing. Not really, not really. It can go one way, it can go
Yeah,
to far left, or it can go to the far right, or
yeah,
it can go in the middle.
yeah.
So, but she got the LOL behind it, which means that are you saying that your husband is your mama? His mama? I don't know, Carol. But as we get older, now do you find for you,
Yeah.
do you look back at some of the things you said that you weren't going to do or you weren't? Wait a minute. Wait, she said, wait. Yes. All righty. I hope that's a good thing, Carol. So, Makesha,
Yeah.
when you look back, do you find that some of the things you said you weren't going to do or you weren't going to say, that you find out now you're saying or doing it just like your mom?
I didn't realize it until my husband pointed it out.
Ooh.
My mother cannot sit down. She is a busy bee, always clean this, put this together, move this around. Like, can you, lady, sit down? And I never thought I would be that way. And he pointed it out maybe a year ago, like, you just like your mom. You are always doing something. Just sit down. So I think that's the first thing that comes to the top of my head is a busy bee
You're
around
busy.
the house. A busy bee around the house. There's always something to do around the house. She probably doing something now while she's listening. Yep.
Now, my husband says that I'm controlling. And I know my mother was controlling, but I say, I am not. But he said, yes, you are. And if he says, okay, Miss Travis, then I'm like, oh, okay. Maybe I am just a tiny bit controlling. So here is Sandy saying, did we have the same mom? I wish my mom taught me the skills of holding my family together. Yeah. But you know what? Just like Sarah says, you can only do what you know.
Yep.
And so if you look back, Sandy, at I don't know. Oh, wait a minute. Liz is saying you are to my controlling. No, I'm not, Liz. And just for that, control this. but now who's Mary Harris? Oh, that's your mother. You
Yes,
said
you
she's
are.
probably doing something right now. She says, no, I'm not. I'm paying attention to my baby.
Okay.
But let me get Liz off of here. Yeah, because I'm not controlling. I don't know what she's talking about. So tell me, what is the one thing, the one advice that your mother gave you that you have really instilled? What's that one advice?
My good credit.
Okay.
When I went off to college, now back when I started college, the credit card companies could still come to campus and get students to sign up for credit cards and offer them free pizza or a t-shirt or something like that. It's illegal now, but back then that was a thing, and students were getting caught up in those credit cards. But when I was in high school, good credit was a thing. Making sure you pay your bills on time. I think she let me get like a Maurice's credit card, the little store cards, like a
Okay.
Old Navy or something like that. To keep, as my first time. But I didn't have a credit card until I was out of grad school. She just scared me half to death on a credit card. But now, I'm so grateful for it because I have so many people who girlfriends who I speak with about credit cards and just how crazy it was for them when they were in college. And a couple of them have filed bankruptcy. I'm like, not really. Yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. So yeah, that credit thing was real for me. That was
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All
I
righty.
pride myself on that, on doing well with bills, and I know it's from my mom. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For me, it was be independent.
Hmm. Yeah.
Don't depend on anyone. Depend on yourself.
Mhm.
Be responsible. Take responsibility. And wherever you are in life, what it reflects on what you think and what you do. In other words, don't blame anyone else for your failures if
Mhm.
you have a failure. That it's your responsibility. And that's something that I keep with me, to be independent and follow your dreams,
Mhm.
and where and I instilled that in my son. I don't have a daughter, but in my son, it's like wherever you are in the world, wherever your situation is, you take responsibility for it, because
Mhm.
that's, you are there because of you and what you do and what you think. S- so I'm going to do something. We said that what we were going to do for the people who make comments. There are some who have put hearts in and who have put thumbs up in, but they didn't make a comment.
Uh-oh.
And but I'm very happy for them. But when I look at my screen, I see I don't see the names, because what I wanted to do, but I'm going to see if I can see their names on another, on my phone, if I can see their names, and we're going to do a giveaway.
Okay.
So let me see if I can see their names, and if I can see their names, which of course I can't, unfortunately. But I can't see their names. Let's see. Maybe I can. Hold on. Oops. Yeah, right. I can see them if but then you can hear me. But anyway, we're going to give away a free virtual ticket
Mhm.
to your retreat
Mhm.
and my book. And I really
Oh,
wish I could bring up their names without, but I can't. I'm sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe if I turn it all the way down, Janice, Dr. Jan, then I could see their names. And oh, I see all these hearts coming up, and but I can't see who's doing the hearts.
I can see
I'm
some names. I can see the comments on my
Yeah,
phone.
well, I have them. I have
Oh,
those,
the
but there,
hearts and
but
the
see,
thumbs
there
up.
are some others who,
Yeah.
oh, wait a minute. Oh no, see, I can't see those. Oh, yes, I can. Okay, I see Tina, Mary, and Dr. Catherine. Hold on. Let me put your name on the wheel. Tina, Dr. Catherine, Mary. Okay, saw that. All righty. So we're going to spin the wheel Are there any others?
You
Okay.
got, what about uh
Oh, I
J
see. Who do you see?
Sarah Crawley?
I see her. I have her on here. And I
Same.
see,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I have her on here. I have, uh, who is this?
Sandy and
I
Liz.
got them.
Okay. Then you got it.
And okay, here I have Anberyel. Okay, let's see. Let me put that there. Anberyel. Okay, so what we're going to do, and Fikumo. Okay, one other. Okay, Fikumo. Now, what we're going to do is, if I knew how to share, I would share. But but let's see. Let
What's
me
the
see if I can share this right quick so they can see
Okay.
what I'm
Okay.
doing. There's something that's called Wheel of Names,
Mhm.
and let me share the screen. Share the screen and Wheel of Names. Here it is. Let me share. Ah, there it is. Can you see it?
No. Oh,
Okay,
here we go.
well,
I
okay,
can
but
see it.
I think they can see it. So I'm
Yeah, I
going to
see
spin.
it. We're good.
You can see it now?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, so let's spin. Congratulations, Chiquita. All right, Chiquita. What congratulations. You have won a free virtual ticket to the mother-daughter retreat and a copy of my book. So now what I want you to do is send your information to me. Send your information to Jan for now 125 at gmail.com. Here it is right here. Jan for now 125 at gmail.com. Send your information to me so that you can get the book and you can get the virtual ticket.
Yep.
Makesha, I want
Yes.
to thank you. That hour goes by
Thank
so
you.
fast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. The hour goes by so fast.
I
But
can't wait till we get to spend more time with you during the retreat. I'm excited to hear what you have to pour into us.
yes, yes, yes. And I'm excited to be there. But I thank you so much for coming on, and I'm looking forward to your retreat. And if you would like a ticket to her retreat, to the mother-daughter retreat, then definitely, definitely, this is where you can get your ticket, your virtual ticket, or you can even go if you want to. I want to thank everybody, especially you. Makesha, thank you so much for being a guest on the show, talking about mother and daughter relationships and your retreat. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the fact that you're a travel agent, but then if they go to worldlyescapes at
Really?
gmail.com, they can find out all about that. And I want to thank
Absolutely.
all of my viewers for tuning in next week because this is Mother's Day month. Next week, we're going to talk about the relationship between mothers and their sons. So
Mm.
I will see all of you next week
Yeah.
on Relationship Matters. Bye bye.
I